Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is the Dawnbringers, Heart of the Nightfang Spire, Season 4, Episode 5, a little something entitled Riders on the Storm. We are going to get things started here in just a few moments because it just feels like one of those days. It feels like one of those weeks where we could all stand to leave the real world behind for a couple hours and play make-believe together. Thank you, everybody who is joining us in chat already. Thank you for your patience while we dealt with some technical issues and just getting things ready. As you may have noticed, M is not with us. And in all of the tech stuff, I forgot to mention to my players, I will have Fig's character sheet up. And more or less, I'm just going to default to support and artillery for Fig. But somebody of the Dawnbringers, please speak up if you think Fig would take a particular action, or if there's something you know Fig could or would do. I'm definitely not going to hold Fig back in an attempt to screw you guys over. But while managing the combat, it's easy to forget that stuff sometimes. I just want to make sure I actually have Fig open. All right. Couple of really super quick announcements since we did get a little bit of a late start here. First and foremost, before I forget, because I know the Dawnbringers won't let me forget anyway. Thanks to Spike for the 1,000 bits cheer. You actually have earned 2 domain dice for your ever-growing pool of domain dice. So thank you for that. Domain dice are a way that you, the viewer, can participate in the campaign by ensuring that the players have a veritable horde of domain dice at their disposal. They can use those to re-roll a d20 and take the new roll. They can force me to re-roll. They can gain some healing out of rest. They can turn failed death saves into successful ones, and they can turn hits into super crits, automatic double max damage critical hits. That last one there will cost them 5 domain dice. So if you see them dwindling, it's up to you to keep their hoard replenished. A $5 tip, a 500-bit cheer, a subscription, a resubscription. Even if we get friends coming in to raid us, all of those things will earn new domain dice. Down in the lower left-hand corner, if you take a quick look, you're going to notice that we have our usual partners, Jasper's Game Day and Initiative Coffee Company. You can type exclamation point, Jasper, in the chat, and that will bring up the link for donating to Jasper's Game Day, an incredible organization that we've partnered with that is dedicated to raising awareness and the prevention of teen suicide and suicide through tabletop gaming. The money that is donated goes to benefit, goes to fund crisis centers, suicide lifelines, educating schools and administrators how to deal with and recognize the signs of suicide. If you would like to donate but get a little something for yourself, you can type exclamation point coffee, and there will be a link for Metadare roast coffee. You can follow that link, get yourself a bag, and for each bag you purchase, $3 of that will go directly to Jasper's Game Day. There's also a new logo hanging out down there in the corner next to our recently named by chat mascot, Yes Ferratu. Notice the TNC logo down there. We are incredibly honored to be sponsored by Talon and Claw. Thank you, intern Dwight, for bringing that up. But Talon and Claw are makers of quality wooden gaming accessories such as DM screens, dice vaults, and trays. Very soon, I hope to have some of those of my very own in front of me that I can actually show you these awesome things. Click on the link, go check out the storefront, and if you decide to get yourself something, use code MTDCLAW to get 10% off of your order. Check out that second link to get in on the first ever Kickstarter that he's doing for whiskey barrel dice vaults. Dice vaults that are made from the actual lids of barrels in which whiskey was aged. That is something I absolutely can't wait to get a hold of. I have a friend who has recently taken up making dice, and I'm hoping to commission her to make me some whiskey colored dice that I can keep in that vault. And if she can get it to work with the resin, I want to have her put just a little drop of whiskey in each one of them so I can truly say they're whiskey dice. But yeah, absolutely check them out. That'll pop up from time to time. And stay tuned to the channel sometime in the not too distant future when he's not too busy with his Kickstarter. We would love to have him come on some of the various game streams as a guest or filling in the case of an absent player or something like that. We got a subscription there. You got another domain dice and we haven't even started. Let's see. I covered domain dice. I covered the sponsors. D&D Beyond, I just want to give a quick shout out to them for giving us insider access. You can mouse over the stream, see all of these amazing characters, and know that I'm also using D&D Beyond behind the scenes to run the encounter, keep track of our missing players character sheet, all of those kind of things. It's just an absolutely amazing tool. So the last thing that I want to say is the most important thing, and that is that you matter. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, and whether or not you believe it, you matter. Your presence here on this earth makes a difference, and you need to know that. And if you're struggling with that, particularly in just the crazy times during social distancing, quarantine, and everything going on in the world today, just know that there are phone numbers and websites that are available immediately to you. You can come here to Mini Terrain domain any time of day or night, whether we're streaming or not. Type !help in the chat, and those phone numbers and the website will show up. All of that information is scrolling by down below. I am going to read the National Suicide Lifeline real quick, but those other numbers are available and will periodically show up in the chat as well. The National Suicide Lifeline is one of the beneficiaries of fundraising through Jasper's Game Day. And it's entirely through support, through donations and things like that is how they're able to keep the service running. But if you need to talk to somebody, you can reach out at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255, or you can text them at 741-741. We've also provided the Canadian numbers and a website that'll take you to resources around the world. So, with that, I think we're ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons. Let me get my caffeine fuel in here. So, the characters, the Dawnbringers, have recently made their way through a rather treacherous cavern filled with piercers and a roper and a 12-legged draconic creature known as a Bahir that attempted to fry them with lightning, but none of those things proved to be a match for the Dawnbringers. They eliminated those threats, worked their way out of the cave, and found themselves in an incredibly deep defile in the earth, a sort of massive canyon with the only entrance seeming to be the cave through which they just entered. Off in the distance, a mile away, they could see the Nightfang Spire rising 300 feet out of the canyon floor, with the walls of the canyon 500 feet in either direction, rising 3 times as high, 1,500 feet total up above. That is not 3 times as high as 300, I just realized. But it's more than 1,000 feet high up. They closed in as the weather grew steadily worse and worse, turning into absolute downpour and storm. They briefly entered a stone lean-to, an ossuary, in which there were numerous dead animals and a dead elven person. And there were also magical musical vines that attempted to put them all to sleep and begin sucking their life force out, but they were able to resist. It helps that at least 2 of the Dawnbringers are immune to magical sleep. They were able to eliminate those, pilfer a few as yet unidentified magical items, and then investigate the tower that is now, they can clearly see, is 100 feet in diameter at its base, towering 300 feet high, with numerous carvings, gargoyles, faces, reliefs, the appearance of balconies and windows that are merely the way in which it is carved. And they realized that their best bet to get inside this place is up. Through the use of a couple of the magic casters, Cantriel turned herself into a raven and began flying up, suddenly disinterested in the act of actively searching for any entrances, and just continued upward along with Verde, the fairy dragon. Fig polymorphed Talmud into a giant eagle. Thorgarn leapt upon his back, and they began flying up to the top, telling Griveth, "Hold on, we'll be back for you." And then Fig grasped Drown's hand and dimension doored 300 feet up above to the top of the tower, where almost immediately an incredibly monstrous figure rose up from inside the top of the spire, a sort of brain-looking thing with wings of a bat, tentacles, eyes, and a gaping maw, and it immediately summoned lightning down upon the characters of Fig and Drown. And that is where we are going to pick up, as just so that everybody can clearly see now what this mooncalf looks like. This is from the cover of the module I'm running, Heart of Nightfang Spire. We are going to start this off rolling for initiative. And then I'll have one of you roll. Somebody roll initiative for Fig for me.
I'll get it. All right, nice. Got some good rolls over here.
All right.
I don't know Fig's bonus, but I have a 16 on the die. For him.
I'm just waiting for it to load. Oh, hey, by using Fig, I actually get to use the dice roller for a change.
Oh, nice.
I haven't had a chance to use it yet. So let's see. You said a 16, Dan?
Yeah, that was the die.
So that's going to be a 17 for Fig.
Nice.
And then Thorgarn, how'd you do?
Typical 6.
Per usual.
Cantriel?
24.
Of course you did.
Of
And
course.
too fast.
Griveth, all the way down at the base of the tower.
A 10!
Talmud,
Okay, so
you will. I would say
I
you
need
would
to
use.
roll as a giant.
You would
eagle.
use your Eagle's dexterity bonus.
Yeah.
Oh, then I have
Uh,
to change my answer.
Oh yes, you do, because you're rolling as a raven right now.
One moment, please. Dindabun is
So
helpful.
Talmud, what is your initiative?
In that case, it is a 16.
Okay.
Nice.
V, what is your modified initiative?
One moment, please. Well, that's still a 21.
Okay.
That's not too bad.
Whoa. Talmud, you had what? A 16?
Correct, sir.
Sorry, it's doing that thing where if you scroll while you're in the window.
I knew it. You're
You're giving me a
scrolling the
negative
wheel.
16 again.
Don't scroll.
You can tell all of a sudden, I literally watched your initiative go from 16, just go down to -1.
Always me. Always me.
Drown.
Well, that
one.
explains a lot.
Yeah.
Drown has a dirty 20.
30-20. And the mooncalf
Oh, dear God. Good
has,
thing.
and I'm using, I bought these dice from Die Hard Dice, not a sponsor, but these are now my new official Dawnbringers dice. They're called
Oh.
Amber,
did
and
put those up.
I
Nice.
just rolled a
Number.
12.
Well, yes.
All right,
That's how they
Cantriel.
work. Yeah.
Cantriel, you are, and I'm going to say just for the sake of this, that you are within about 30 feet of the top. You had pretty much taken off flying while everybody was getting situated.
Yeah.
So you're about 30 feet from the top, and this mooncalf has risen. It's illuminated in the flashes of lightning, this giant creature. And you also can see illuminated flying up, probably just a little bit ahead of you, having just passed you, the massive wings of Talmud in giant eagle form. And you see, of course, Fig and Drown standing on the edge. Dan, real quick, roll me, this is going to sound weird, but I want you to roll me 3d6
Okay.
and then round it to the nearest 5.
Okay.
Lucy.
Rounded to the nearest 5, we have a 10.
Okay. So the section that you two dimension doored up to, you can see in the flashes of lightning, is about 10 feet above the interior floor. The edges all around here are jagged. They range from between 5 to 15 feet in height. We didn't establish that, so I kind of wanted to get a baseline. So you know that you are 10 feet above the floor of the top of the spire, and you are, 310 feet above the floor of the canyon. So Cantriel, what would you like to do?
Chances are, in my raven form, probably gonna fly to Fig. Attracted to the sparkly metal creature.
Definitely sparkling in the
Post lightning.
in the lightning. So yeah, you would be able to fly up there. Is your intention to land on Fig or near Fig?
Probably near Fig and then drop polymorph.
Let me check something real quick with a percentage roll. Percentile roll.
Do I need to roll 2?
No. I just want to see.
I have new dice. I want to use them.
Well, you will. I just wanted to make sure there was room for you to polymorph up there. There is.
Are you insinuating something there, DM?
No, but it is a jagged spire, and they are small sections in various
And
sizes.
I'm a dainty little elf.
Who is much larger than a raven. I'm not going to get into debates on the
I'm teasing.
weight and size of your elf.
Teasing you. I'm teasing you. It's all good-natured.
So you're going to... Is dropping polymorph, is that an action or bonus action? I can't remember.
Neither.
You just do it.
You can just
Perfect.
end concentration at any
Perfect. So you are able to end... So you've used your movement, and you've used no other actions.
Okay. And I see this lovely new creature.
Yeah, it's almost... I would imagine it's almost like you were in this momentary... You didn't have full awareness of the danger of what's happening, and then suddenly just you do a quick assessment, and you can clearly tell that among the many things, you are standing on a ledge hundreds of feet up, and there is a massive form threatening all of you.
Pretty much going to say nope and go to shoot at it twice with my arrows. I don't know why I said it that way. Sorry. My arrows. Okay. Do I still have bonus action?
Yeah, you didn't use any of your action.
I'm going to use Hunter's Mark.
You've only used your movement.
I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark so I get that extra D6.
No, that's wrong.
No, I shouldn't.
No, sorry.
I know, I'm kidding. Okay, so first arrow is going to be a 15 to hit. Or, sorry, 19 to hit.
A 19 will hit.
Okay, cool. And then, okay, hold on. Just 1 moment, please. I have to math now. So that is going to be, 7 piercing.
7 piercing.
Second go.
Oh, wait, no, never mind. 7 piercing. Make sure you all let me know what kind of magic you're doing, or what kind of damage you're doing.
Well, I mean, Semper
but I
magic.
think we established that nobody's doing mundane attacks anymore.
Yeah. So then, Jiminy, 23.
23 is a hit.
23 to hit, and then that is... Why am I not... 12 piercing.
God, why am I not 12?
Why am I not mathing tonight? I'm looking at numbers and like, no. This is what happens when you've been doing Common Core math for someone else all day.
As you shoot at this thing that is hovering up above you about 20 feet, your arrows strike into it, and Drown, before you can even act, you see in the flashes of lightning as one of these tentacles lashes out at Cantriel. And that is going to be a 22 to hit.
Not if you reroll.
That's right. So I will...
So is this happening like as a reaction or
no?
Like a
it is a legendary
sort of
action.
Okay, cool.
Are you freaking kidding me? That is a critical fail. So this tentacle lashes out and just moves right between Drown and Cantriel, or it would be Fig and Cantriel. And you sort of hear this, and you would get an opportunity attack. You do have a ranged weapon out, so it would be at disadvantage.
Do more damage potentially? Okay. Yep. I'll go in, see what happens.
That's how I rule, as you guys know, but for everybody else, that's how I rule crit failures. If it works, if it makes sense.
19 to hit. That's what disadvantage.
Yep, that'll do it.
That another one? Okay, cool. So then that is 10.
Everybody's showing off their crit fail dice in the chat.
That's 14 piercing.
All right. All right. So, and that tentacle sort of recoils back. And it is now Drown's turn.
About how far? Sorry. Go ahead.
No, Cantriel was just saying the time she turned to Drown, like, is this a friend of yours?
No, it is not. How far away is the moon calf?
It's hovering about 20 feet up and it's sort of half above the tower and half out in the open air.
All right. Well, given that it's at a fair distance at this point, Drown will speak a single cursing word in Aquan, and his eyes will flare green, and he'll lay a hex on the moon calf, and I will hex its strength. And then he'll throw his other hand out. The tentacle tattoos on his fingers will writhe and launch out those scintillating green eldritch blasts. See if I can zap him. Pretty good. So that's going to be a 24 and a 21 to hit.
Yeah, those are both going to hit.
Both of those will hit. So we got 2 eldritch blasts. We got 2 hexes. So this is going to be force and necrotic.
Okay.
If any of those are problematic, just let me know and I can give you separate. Ooh, 32 total.
All right. Yeah, these blasts strike into it. A stark contrast to the whitish blue light of the lightning that's flaring out around it.
And that's my turn.
But it doesn't seem to be all that phased. Next up is Fig. And Fig, let's see what spells Fig has at the ready. I feel like we all know what Fig would probably do against this thing.
He's pretty happy to go with Fireball, I'm going to say.
I was thinking Figby's hand, but...
I mean, I was going to say it's kind of a toss-up. It's
Fireball.
Between the Fireball and the Figby's hand.
Can Fig vanish?
Well, first, I think Fig would like turn to Drown and Cantriel and, ask them if we had any recommendations. Just saying.
Well, that's what I said. It's up to you guys if you think Fig would take a certain action.
Cantriel, kill it with fire.
The overwhelming consensus seems to be that Fig would use Fireball. I'm trying to figure out what level would Fig cast that at.
Almost never a bad decision.
I was going to say, I mean, honestly, if you ever have the opportunity to cast Fireball,
and it's hovering?
to be truthful, you want to cast Fireball.
All right. Well, Fig also has that Wand of Magic Missiles as well. That he
Which
uses.
I think Fig may have... Yeah, I think Fig may have drained that down to 1 charge.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I'm just also looking because
I think a 3rd level Fireball to open
It
up.
sounds sweet to me.
That's all you can. All Fig can do because Fig is running out of spell slots.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So let's see the spell save DC. It's a Dex DC 17 for my Mooncalf. So I will roll that now. And it is going to fail, and Fig is going to target that with those sort of glowing, sparking cogs that launch out up above, so that the explosion happens up above the Mooncalf. And I'm going to use the D&D Beyond roller to roll 8d6, watch them explode all over the screen, and looks like 25 points of fire damage. As the fire rains down in this explosion, again contrasting against the green and the blue, all these other colors that are flaring out around here, the fire rains down around the Mooncalf. And you hear the sizzle of the rain and you see the fire. In a lot of cases, the flame, what you see is these sort of burning cogs hit its form and seems to roll off like water rolling off of a hydrophobic surface. Only a few blisters remain behind it. And then I just want to check to see. I don't recall Fig doing a whole lot with bonus actions. Nope. So it will be Talmud's turn. Talmud, you are in your great eagle form, and you have Thorgarn on your back.
About how far away am I from the top of this spire?
Since I had narrated that you had sort of just flown past Cantriel on her way up, I would say you're about 15 feet from the top of the spire.
Okay. So he's going to just continue flapping those massive wings that he has out, up and down, until he is able to get kind of above this perch. He might light for just a second with his talons and like try to like shrug Thorgarn off, like to the side.
Thorgarn, if you want to dismount, I will allow you to slide off of his back.
Yeah, I would.
Roll me a 3d6, round to the nearest 5.
That's a 15.
You are on a section 15 feet up above the floor of the interior. So you're sitting up a bit higher than the others, a little ways away on this. As a reminder, this top of this thing, of this spire, is about 40 feet in diameter. All right, you've gotten rid of the mount on your, or rather the mountee. You got the dwarf off your back. You may proceed.
Sounds like a euphemism too.
Right.
So after he has dismounted, I'm gonna turn and light after this mooncalf. Try to see if I can attack it. On my way there, I'm gonna kind of like shoot Fig a look with like these wide like bird eyes. Like, ah! And then let's see.
Don't you still have to go get Griveth?
Yeah,
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I forgot.
Remember, you're not Cantriel, so you know.
No, it's just that is a long ways down. Okay. So yeah, after dropping Thorgarn off, then in that case, I will kind of turn and tuck my wings backwards and kind of dive as far down as I can go.
All right, so you would have used
15?
about 15 feet of your movement to go up. And then if you're using your whole action, then you can basically take the dash action to dive. So how far will that allow you to drop?
If they can fly 80 feet normal. So they do.
So it'd be 160, 145 feet.
So yeah. And how tall was the spire? Over 1,000, you said?
No, the spire's 300 feet. So you actually drop half the distance.
Okay. Cool.
But I need to know
take quite as long.
that because it is. Hold on. Whatever issue I'm having, it's causing occasional encoding overloads in OBS. So just a heads up, if we drop the stream for some reason, we will try to get it right back up. Just bear with us.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
But I think it's fine. It's just my PC's freaking out for some reason. Every time I move the mouse, it's overloading OBS. That's not good. All right. What was I doing? Oh, I was looking something up. I am going to need. Well, I can't do that until I know what it does. All right, I got to look this up real quick because you're 145 feet down below now. And that is important based on what I am going to attempt to do. Oh, snap. Okay. Not this time. All right, so the mooncalf is now going to take its turn. And it is going to... It's going to take another swipe at Cantriel, who has been taking shots at it. And that is a 16 to hit. Does that hit?
Not if you try another reroll.
Of course. You've got
Pretty please.
dice for days. The new roll...
Come on, Joy gave them to us.
The new roll now is a 17.
Oh.
So...
Fine.
that is going to put you...
Dead. No, I'm kidding.
At... so this tentacle lashes out at you, Cantriel.
Oh, I
And
hate when that happens.
you immediately take 8, 9, 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
It wraps around you and yanks you off of your feet towards it and immediately tries to bite down on you. And that is going to be a 14 to hit.
That'll miss.
So it doesn't quite get you there. It's too eager. Its jaws snap shut. The other tentacle is going to lash out at either Fig, Thorgarn, or Drown. Or rather, it'd be Fig or Drown because the two of you have been launching attacks at it. Drown, you are odd. Fig is even. Drown, you are getting attacked. Wow. This new die has not rolled higher than a 5 for me. That's a 15 to hit you, Drown.
It is a Dawnbringer die, Jake.
I was going to say the exact same thing. It's a Dawnbringer. It's on our side.
Well, I guess I'll switch to my Rook and Raven die.
Quick second, let me check something. Cantriel, you are Valor College, is that right?
Yes, I am.
I will use my reaction to roll the Bardic Inspiration die ahead and add it to my armor class against that attack. Aha! So it misses.
All right.
See, I'm helpful.
Yes, combat inspiration. We'll parry the tentacle with my sea staff thingy.
Be
And-
very careful with the phrasing on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're
Parrying the tentacles.
it is going to move away from the tower. And it is going to move about... It's going to move about 60 feet away from the... Well, no, you know what? Yeah. It's going to move 60 feet away from the tower. So it is still 20 feet up, but it's also now 60 feet out over the canyon. And it is... Griveth. You can vaguely see flashes of color and light, spells being flung far above you, and you do see the rapidly increasing in size, apparently, giant eagle that is screaming downward towards you. What would you like to do? I mean, is there anything you can do besides wait?
Not really, no. I mean, I could buff myself or something, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to wait. But as they're at the top of the tower fighting this thing, and I'm holding the hilt of Dawnbringer, I'm getting weird premonition dreams, and like almost like deja vu, like I'm suddenly remembering that I've either felt like I've been here before or I've dreamt this. And like, I'm getting like a mind's eye view of what's happening at the tower. Like, they're fighting this thing and their magic is washing off of it and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, and then I kind of snap back to the reality of the present, and I see the eagle like just screaming down like a like a missile, just flashing through the sky towards me. And I just kind of lift my arms like I'm gonna kind of try to grab this thing the moment that I can to help my friends. I'm gonna grab the legs of this thing, and so not a fraction of a second is wasted that I can try to get up there.
Yeah, and I imagine you sort of cinematically, you see all of this action taking place at the top of the tower, and the camera sort of rapidly moves. The raindrops almost seem to be falling in reverse. The camera's moving so fast, it skims over Talmud's giant eagle form and sort of right into your eye, Griveth, as we see the reflection of all of this. And then we see that eagle form screaming forward, and then we snap back to the top of the tower where Thorgarn is standing, where he dismounted. The rain is still falling heavily all around you, Thorgarn. You're 15 feet above the floor of the interior, and this thing is about 60 feet away from you, hovering 20 feet high, 60 feet out.
Thorgarn's, sees, all the weapons that he's got on him, and the fact that, we now keep fighting these things that are staying at a distance. Thankful that he's got Forge Fane, but thinking it might be a good idea that in times like this, that he should really pick up a shield. Because, he's not carrying enough stuff. So he is going to throw Forge Fane twice at this thing. You said it's 60 feet away?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's disadvantage on both attacks. Well, that would have been nice. That would have been a natural 20, but it turns out to be a 17.
That will hit.
So then the 26 will hit as well.
Yep. Dan, when you hexed its strength earlier, what's the effect of that?
It has disadvantage on strength checks.
Okay.
Just checks. Not saving throws, not attacks, none of that.
So, for instance, when Cantriel... Oh, wait a second. Oh, no, because we re-rolled that, didn't we? No, you got hit. And I forgot to mention, Cantriel is still with this thing because she got grappled by it. So if she were to attempt to break free, it would have disadvantage on its grapple check. Versus, or no. No. Forget me.
Usually.
Nope.
Yeah.
Dan's going, have you DM'd before?
No, I'm not.
No.
It intuitively feels like it should help, but
yeah.
Strict read, it does not.
Right.
It will help if someone decides to try to grapple it, and it has to make a check.
Yes.
Yeah.
As the words were coming out of my mouth, I realized what I was saying. So, yeah, Thorgarn, you did get two solid hits on it with
so
your...
That is a total of dirty 20, or a total of 20 damage, bludgeoning, magical.
All right.
Quick reminder, sorry to interrupt. Is this thing large or huge?
It is considered large.
Okay.
Though, depending on the way it arrays those tentacles and with its wings furled out, at times it seems to have a bit more of an imposing size. I would say, looking even at the artwork in the overlay, you can get a good sense that it's in that large category.
Yeah, that's fair. The tentacles do tend to inflate the silhouette.
Yeah. Is that all you got, Thorgarn?
Indeed.
We're back at the top of the order, Cantriel. You are now 360 feet, or 320 feet up above the canyon floor, away from the tower, wrapped in its tentacle.
So you're telling me I have the option of trying to break the grapple and fall. Yay.
Correct.
Or, since I'm grappled, I can still shoot at it, right? But with disadvantage.
Yeah, you'd be at a disadvantage because you're point blank range with your bow.
Well, then I'm going to do something a little bit more helpful for my companions And I'm going to cast Bane on it. So, narrowing my freakishly green orb eyes, I'm going to glare at it and sing, "We have might on our side, you only have defeat." And now it has Bane. It could help.
All right, so let me grab Bane D4 here. Throw that next to the D20. All right. As a, where did it go here?
So that's my action.
As a, all right. Anything else you're gonna do?
Of course, I'm a bard. So, after saying that to Cutesy Wootsy, shout down to Drown, "This thing has tentacles. Don't you know what to do with it?" And give him more bardic inspiration, because that's how she works.
Speaking of tentacles, you feel the tentacle that's wrapped around you tense. And as a legendary action, it is going to fling you. It is going to throw you at the tower.
Oh, good. Just what I always wanted, a free flight.
And it's 40, so you're going to go in an arc.
Oh my god, we're getting into geometry.
So I'm not going to do the full math on that. You're 60 feet away. I don't know if you have any reactions that can help you here. You are basically thrown through the air. I need to see if Fig has
Featherfall?
I know Fig has Featherfall. Does Fig
It is
have the
already.
spell slot for Featherfall?
Mm-hmm.
So Fig should be able to as a reaction. So you are hurling towards the side of the tower, and you already feel yourself arcing. The rain is stinging as you're kind of cutting across the rain. And before you basically almost instinctively throw your arms up to brace for impact against the side of this tower, and you just and you stop and you see lightning and thunder, and you're inches from the spiked horns of a gargoyle, as Fig has cast Featherfall on you, and you are descending as you are falling. You could use your reaction if you wanted to. You're close enough to try to grab hold, to make a dexterity check. I'll call it a saving throw.
Okay.
To try to grab hold of something and stop your descent.
How about
You
the
won't
horny
take any.
gargoyle?
You won't take any bludgeoning damage or anything because you're slow falled.
Yeah, gonna go for the horns and the gargoyle and see what that gives me. So that is going to be, you said save?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that is a 14.
Crap. You kind of throw up your hands and you see them as you reach out for them. You get your fingertips up and you grab at this horn. Snap! It breaks off as you start falling. You are still under Featherfall.
Okay.
So you're falling 60 feet per round, but I mean it's better than falling at reaching terminal velocities. So.
Yeah.
You are falling.
Okay.
You'll have to wait until your turn to make another attempt, if you wish, to grab at it. So that was its legendary action to throw you. Drown, you are up.
Okay, I don't think I have anything for a 60 feet away falling Cantriel. Crap. Well, good luck.
I mean, whoever does.
Fair enough.
Good luck.
So I think I am gonna blast this thing again. Just keep pummeling it with disintegrating eldritch force. 2 blasties. That's gonna be 2 hits, given the ones that hit last round. So 10, 20, 23 damage total.
All right.
And as a bonus action, I will conjure up one of those shimmering spectral watery tentacles nearby me. But it's too far away to lash at it, so I'll just have the tentacle ready. And I'm done.
Using another legendary action, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw, Drown, as lightning lashes out of the sky at you.
Not so good on that one. That is going to be a mere. You know what? I'm going to burn a die. Reroll that. That's better. Let's try a 15.
25. That is a fail. As lightning strikes you, you take 27 points of lightning damage.
Oh, all right. So that's a lot of lightning damage. So I'll use my reaction to use Guardian Grasp. The tentacle will sort of throw itself in the way of the lightning bolt and absorb half of that damage and be destroyed. So I'll take 13.
I just picture this tentacle as it sort of, as part of your pact, it seems to almost writhe around the incoming bolt of electricity, and you just watch as it just disintegrates through it, and the remaining energy lances into you at 14 points of lightning damage instead of 27.
Right.
So that was another legendary. And then Fig is up. I don't know if I keep looking for Figby's hand on this spell sheet. It's just not there.
It's not going to show.
What level is Big B's hand?
5th.
That's why I can't find it. I think he's burned all his 5th level slots. All right, so looking at what Fig has, Fig has, you know what? Dang, I hate using the player's abilities against my monster. I think Fig would try to cast Slow.
Ooh. And just as a quick reminder, I forgot until just now, I made a concentration saving throw to maintain Hex. And
okay, good.
Yeah, Fig absolutely would, because when Fig sees Cantriel do Bane, Fig does Slow.
Yeah, Fig
That's
has.
How we roll.
There's a I don't know if that rhyme was intentional or not, but we'll roll with it.
Wait, I rhymed?
You said when she sees Cantriel cast Bane, she casts Slow. That's how we roll.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It works.
It's a slant, we'll take it.
So that is a wisdom saving throw, and then all kinds of nasty stuff happens to it. So it is going to make a wisdom save, and I don't want to roll that die. I'm going to roll this one. I should have rolled that one. That's a 10. It fails its wisdom save, which means its speed is halved. It has -2 to AC and Dex saving throws. It can't use reactions. On its turn, it can use either an action or a bonus action, not both. It can only make one attack if it has multi-attack. If it attempts to cast a spell with a casting time of 1 action, it doesn't, and it loses it. Oh, jeez, I hate this spell. But I love it, but I hate it. As you watch, as Fig sends these gears hurling through the air, and they seem to form a loose grid, and this energy momentarily just connects all of them, and it creates this sort of arcane energy sphere, like a net almost, around this thing. And then as the energy pulses and they fall away, it looks as if the mooncalf is suddenly writhing in slow motion in the air. And just because I think it'll be a cool effect, you also notice that the rain is falling in slow motion around you as well. You see lightning this thing being affected by slow seems to have also affected the weather around it. All right. A creature affected by the spell makes another wisdom saving throw at the end of its turns. That's what I wanted to know. Okay. So Fig has done that. Let me make sure I mark that spell used. Slow, 3rd level, marked. All right. So Talmud, it is your turn.
Can I roll perception to see if I notice that Cantriel is falling?
Does he get advantage because she's screaming?
Gets advantage because of his eagle eyes.
It's the problem with that. The only reason I'm hesitant to say yes, I will let you make an auditory perception check. You're using your ears, not your eagle eyes, because by your narration, you are in a dive with Griveth in your eye line of sight, and Cantriel is approximately almost 100 feet above you still, because you dove 145 feet. So
Yeah,
I would
super
actually say you can make a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay. So with disadvantage, it's an 11.
I'm going to say that her screams are lost in the thunder. She's far enough away. The rain is roaring, the wind roaring past you. You just haven't noticed yet.
In that case, I will continue to dive downward towards Griveth with all haste.
And I'll say with a dash action, you'll be able to close the distance, flare your wings, and come down. And Griveth, you were already at the ready to. You basically held your action. So as soon as you get down there, Griveth immediately mounts up, and you're able to begin looking upward. So that pretty much took your entire turn. It is now the Mooncalf's turn. Can only move half speed. And then it can only do one action. Cantriel, you are 60 feet below it. The others are off on the side. You know what? It flares its tentacles backward. And it moves in this slowed, everything slowed around it. It does have an incredible flight speed, so even at half speed, it will be able to close the distance to Fig. And it is going to attempt, as it's flying past Fig, to grab Fig in its tentacles. It is baned, so that will be at disadvantage, or not disadvantage, that'll be with the D4 minus. That is going to be a total of 9 on the die minus 3 on the bane makes a 6, which turns its bane into an 18 to hit, or its tentacle into an 18 to hit. Fig has an AC of 15, so that would hit Fig.
Does Fig have shield?
Good question. Oh, I can search, can I? Instead of just doing
First level.
No, Fig does not have shield. The only reaction I think that Fig has is Featherfall. Yeah.
Want to do a reroll?
All right. Calling for a reroll on that. I will do that. The reroll is now a natural 20, but Bane is going to reduce that to a 17, which is, of course, going to make that a 29 to hit. So Fig will get hit by the tentacles for 8, 9, 16 bludgeoning, and Fig is grappled. And the Mooncalf, as it grapples him, continues moving another 10 feet. It is still about 20 feet up, It basically just struck Fig, grabbed him, and is now 10 feet out over the top of the spire. I need to mark Fig's damage, which was, what did I say? 16? Is that what I said?
Yeah. Is it above the tower itself, not above the 300-foot plummet?
Yes, it is above the tower. So it's actually only about 20 feet off the floor of 20 or 30 feet off the floor of the tower.
Perfect.
Fig is not in great shape. So that is its turn.
Not that
Does-
I want to shoot myself in the wing, but has Fig been making concentration checks?
That's a great. Well, this is the first time Fig's been attacked.
Oh, okay.
But that's a great point. So DC would be 10 on that.
Oh, God.
That is a success.
Woo.
Yeah, I rolled. What is it? It's a con. I rolled a 16 total.
Although I guess if it was going to fail,
Now is the time
Now
for it to fail.
Now is the time. Not one round from
Not
now.
halfway up, and suddenly Griveth is riding on Talmud's
160
back.
feet. Yeah.
150 feet up. They're like, woohoo!
Oops. Oh.
Then all of a sudden, you right at the time you meet up with Cantriel, all three of you are falling.
Hold up the little sign. Mama.
Oh my gosh. But I did have a question about slow. And maybe you know this, Dan. I'm just going to see if it's in the spell. Does slow affects reactions, but how does it affect legendary actions?
I don't believe it does.
Because I'm not seeing anything in the wording that would affect legendary actions.
Nope, legendary actions work
Okay.
just fine. With all the same caveats of if for some reason it had one that let it make multiple attacks, it couldn't.
Right.
It can only make one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is its turn, and it is now Griveth's turn. Griveth, you are, at this point, you're just sitting on Talmud's back.
Can I do? Can we see Cantriel falling? Heading back up.
Make
Or do
me.
I need to
You
move?
haven't actually moved yet. You're
Okay.
still at the bottom, but you can go ahead and make me a perception check.
You got it.
Just straight perception.
Okay. Ooh, that is good. That is a 25.
Yeah, looking up through the slow motion falling rain, you see also Cantriel tumbling through. She's currently about 60 feet up or down from the top, just tumbling.
So I'm kind of hitting Talmud's back, and I'm like, Cantriel, Cantriel. I'm pointing. We need to save her.
All right.
We can't lose Cantriel.
Thorgarn. The mooncalf is now having sort of moved above you, flying past, is now only about 10 feet away. Still 20 feet up, but it's about 10 feet in and 20 feet up. So,
Well, then it looks like I'm gonna have to just keep chucking Forge Fane, and I'm no idea whether this thing understands the language. If it does, what I would say. So I'm just gonna bellow curses at it as I throw the hammer, and they suck. So the dirty 20, I'm pretty confident is going to hit, but I'm going to spend a die and re-roll that because that was a 2 on the die. So that's a dirty 20 and a 25.
yep. Got them both.
So that is going to be a total of 23 damage.
Oh, hold on a second. Oh, sorry. How much damage?
23?
I need to check something. We might have to retcon something. And it could be bad. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I have to look at something for... Where is it? There it is. Featherfall is not a concentration spell, is it? Okay.
Don't believe so.
I didn't think it was, but it just suddenly occurred to me, oh crap.
Yeah.
Fig cast Featherfall on Cantriel. That would cancel out the polymorph while Talmud was hurtling toward the ground from 150 feet. So I just needed to double check that. Okay, we're good. We're good. So let's see. Thorgarn, you have taken your actions against the moon calf, and
hopefully I can egg it on that maybe it's, you know, coming after me or something.
Well, in a way it is.
I don't like that phrasing.
It's going to throw Fig at Thorgarn.
See, damn it.
What'd you say? What did V say?
No, I said C. not
Oh,
V.
I thought you blamed V for something.
No,
I'm like, what'd V do?
Well, I mean, to be fair.
So I'm going to make it, I mean, Fig's getting flung no matter what. I'm going to have it make a ranged attack against Thorgarn with the Bane.
Wait, is it yeeting with Fig?
Is it what? Yeah.
Is it yeeting with Fig?
It's it's yeeting Fig at Thorgarn. That is going to be a... It's probably going to miss you, Thorgarn, because that is a 16.
AC is 17.
Fig just misses you and goes tumbling. What's the phrase? Ass over tea kettle, something like that.
Yep.
Seems appropriate for Fig, as he goes. And he. Yeah, there's a whole lot. This is why I don't play Wizards a lot, because there's another issue. So in terms of reaction, the range on Featherfall is 60 feet. Fig will, as Fig goes flying past Thorgarn and begins to start to fall, Cantriel, you feel the Featherfall release on you. And then a moment later, it catches you again. Because Fig can cast Featherfall one more time and can target up to 5 creatures. So Fig can recast it on himself and you. Here's the problem. When I was checking Featherfall, I also forgot the fact that Fig cast Slow on the Mooncalf. So I'm going to, because this does dramatically affect Talmud in particular, I'm going to have us decide as a group, knowing that it's concentration. Fig is the wizard. Fig knows these things. Would Fig have broken concentration on the polymorph to cast Slow on the Mooncalf?
I don't think so, because that would have plummeted.
Because that would have
Talmud
potentially
and
killed Talmud.
And stranded Griveth.
Right. That was my mistake. Because it's not my character, like I said, I'm not trying to screw anybody over. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to retcon the Slow, so it has all of its actions back. I'm not going to take away or re-roll any attacks or anything. That was just a confusion thing on my part. So Fig is still falling, and Cantriel is now falling, and I'm going to also give Fig back that spell slot because he wouldn't have cast that spell. So, even though they're I know somebody in chat's complaining, but it's because I saw somebody in chat actually brought that up. No, I mean, it could have come back later and been questionable. But ultimately it works out for Talmud in particular, who would have fallen 150 feet. So, everybody good with that retcon? All right, we're going to continue on.
That's fair.
Fig has been thrown, and Fig is now falling. Cantriel is now falling. My OBS is falling. There it goes.
Could Thorgarn you maybe use a reaction to grab Fig as Fig was flung past him?
Thorgarn, if you attempt, I feel like you would know the speed at which Fig was flying past you, that it could be a bad idea to try to grab him because you're standing on this ledge. So knowing that, it's still up to you whether or not you would attempt to grab him.
So would it be a strength thing or would it be a dex thing?
It'd be a dex thing to grab him.
Yeah, I'm not dexterous.
Okay.
And I would absolutely love to be able to save him, but I know that he's got magic that can do wondrous things. So I had the same idea, Scotty. I just let it go because it's literally a +1 to the roll, and DC is probably going to be high.
Cantriel, we're back at the top of the order.
Mm-hmm.
It is your turn.
Mm-hmm.
You are falling.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
Can I shoot it as I fall? That son of a bitch.
No, you can't because you can't see it. It is currently above the tower, and you are now falling towards 120 feet away from it. So you, at this point, you don't even have eyes on it.
Okay. Am I falling near the wall?
Yes, I had mentioned you would be able to make a check to see.
Okay, let's see if I can grab onto something.
I'm gonna say we'll just do straight dexterity to see if you can grab hold of one of the protrusions.
Okay. What is my straight up dex? Get back here. Sorry, my sheet keeps going behind another window. Okay. Thank you, James. That's gonna be a 23. I just got a natural 20.
Nice.
Yes.
So you tell me what it looks like. What do you grab hold of, and how do you stop yourself at around 120 feet? So almost halfway down this tower.
You said there were those balcony things, right, along the way?
They looked like balconies.
They looked like balconies. So probably as I'm falling and I see one of those things that look like a balcony, and it seems there's enough of a lip where I basically just fling my arms out quickly, and knowing it's going to hurt like hell and hoping I don't dislocate something, grab on for dear literal life.
Because the slow effect is on you, and with that high dex that you got, you are able to grab hold and you sort of stop yourself and just up against the side. So you're not going to have to, your arms don't get ripped out or anything like that. I mean, it's a little jarring, but you're not going to take any damage.
Okay. I don't think I have. Let me double check here. I think I used up all my bardic inspiration, so I think that's it for me. Yep, that's it for me then.
However,
oh dear,
you have stopped your descent and technically you have quote unquote landed, and the spell will no longer be in effect on you.
Okay.
So you have ended the Featherfall effect on you. You're clinging to the side of this. Let me see where we are here. Do you have anything you want to do? Because technically you just stopped yourself.
Okay.
You have movement. You can use half your speed if you want to attempt climbing back up.
And then there's that keyword attempt. I have a grip right now, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just screeching, Talmud! We'll leave it at that.
All right. So we're right near the top. Cantriel was at the top of the order. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to call a break right now. It's about our normal time we would break, but I'm also coming up against some internet issues. Chat's reporting buffering. I'm getting red zone here. So we're going to take a 10-minute break and see if we can make offerings to the internet deities for the second half of this game. So please stick around. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. And we're back. I was able to shift some things around, and hopefully we won't have too many issues with bandwidth for the remainder of tonight's game. But just in case, as I've said in the past, if for some reason we get disconnected and we're unable to continue the stream, we will continue playing, recording it offline, and I'll get that VOD uploaded as quick as possible so everybody can see what happens. In the meantime, we are in the middle of a very deadly encounter with the Mooncalf, and Drown, who is still standing atop the ledge, along with Thorgarn not too far away, also on a ledge. Fig and Cantriel are hurtling towards the ground. Talmud and Griveth are about to make their ascent, but they're at the base, and the Mooncalf is 20 feet above the floor of and about 10 feet away from you, Drown, over top of the spire itself. What would you like to do?
Okay, so nobody is grappled by it currently, but that is going to change with the quickness. So Drown is actually going to dive off of the wall and grab a hold of it and try and bring it down to the roof of the tower.
So you're leaping for the...
I am going to leap for it and try and grapple it.
Okay. How far can you leap? You're 10 feet. Well, actually,
it's only 10 feet.
It's only 10 because you're 10 feet up off the floor. Yeah, I got you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead
even with
and
a standing jump, I can get close enough to grab.
Perfect.
It.
Yeah. Make a athletics check, and this is where that hex will come into place. It's at disadvantage.
Yeah, his strength athletics will have to be at disadvantage if
and
he chooses that route.
And it's still baned.
It is baned. That's only attack rolls and saving throws. Doesn't apply here. Unfortunately.
All right. I'm going to use this die.
Oh, it's good.
That is going to be... oh, that's not a saving throw. All right, not as good. That is a 13 from the...
26.
You leap out, and I imagine you sort of grab a hold of a couple of these smaller tentacles that are sort of trailing behind it.
To wrap my arm around its wing and wrench it down.
Yeah, I'll say just because of how you more than doubled against its check, that you sort of grab these tentacles and just kind of reach up, grab at its wing, and the two of you, it sort of spirals, and because it's above this 40-foot space, you come crashing down with you on top of it.
Oh yeah.
You've brought it down to the surface of the tower.
All right. Do any falling damage to contend with?
Let's see. It's 20 feet up, so that's going to be
2d6.
7 points of bludgeoning.
Ouchers. We take. You know what? I'm going to use my reaction to use Stone's Endurance to reduce that damage.
Okay. And
I will reduce it to 0.
Perfect. And as it crashes down, it seems to not be too phased. I mean, it's not a huge amount of damage for this creature anyway. You sort of feel, Thorgarn, you can kind of feel the tower shudder, just the top of it. It's not like swaying or anything, but there's just that thoom as it hits.
All right, so then that was my action. I will use a bonus action to conjure up another grasping spectral tentacle and lash at it.
All right.
Oof. That is less good. 15?
That is going to miss.
All right, I think I'm going to re-roll that with a domain die. If
okay.
you don't mind. Yeah. Better. 2031.
Yeah. 2031 will hit.
Yeah. All right, so I'll do some what do you call that stuff? Let's do cold damage. I think we're this thing is channeling lightning, so. So this will deal 7 points of cold damage and 2 necrotic, 9 total if no resistances come into play.
Say those numbers one more time.
7 cold, 2 necrotic, total of 9.
All right.
All right, and then that'll be the end of my turn. I'll sort of look up through the rain and the lightning towards Thorgarn up on top of the tower and say, "Get down here and do what you do."
You hear in your mind, Drown, this voice that rivals the magnitude and depth of your own patron, if you've ever heard or imagined your patron voice from the deep, as you hear in your head, "You will never breach the gate. I will guard it to my death." And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, as it's using its legendary action to summon lightning down upon you and it.
Something tells me that it doesn't care so much, but that is a nat 20.
That will be a
Total
success.
of 22. It might be a success, I hope.
It is a success.
Okay.
That's 11, 18, 26, reduced to 13.
Ouch.
As electricity just charges both you and it, and it barely seems phased by this lightning damage. Fig is going to use his action to fall. Let me see what Fig has at his disposal. He's running out of spells.
That's a 13 to maintain concentration on Hex. That is good. DC 10.
Yeah. I'm looking for the number. Like, what is that against? Oh yeah, duh. Yeah. So Fig has ooh. All right. No, Fig won't do that because that's a concentration spell. I feel like Fig is going to let himself fall. Continue to feather fall. I'm not seeing anything that he can do that won't affect others. So yeah, Fig will fall another 60 feet. I imagine he's sort of at the ready, though, in case watching Cantriel to make sure she doesn't fall. But he's too far away. He was hurled away from the edge, so he can't even make a grab for the thing. Talmud.
So, in the next 80 feet, are either Fig or Cantriel still falling anywhere in that range?
No. They're both at about 120 feet.
Away from where I
down from the top, which would put them at 180 feet above you.
Okay. So, in that case, I am going to slow my ascent. I'm going to move the 80 feet, and then I would like to ready an action.
Okay.
If either one of them, whichever I guess the first one is, I would like to try to grab them.
Okay.
Could I burn domain dice to possibly take 2 reactions to try to grab both of them. Or advantages. I have some of those too.
You're a large size, and you have a human.
Yeah.
You have a human paladin on your back.
Yeah.
And also the two of them.
Jeremy, Cantriel's not falling anymore.
Yeah, Cantriel's clinging to the side. She's clinging to the side of the building.
Okay. Well, that's probably not ideal either, but
And Fig is a Warforged. I'm not saying you can't do it. So you can ready your action, or hold an action to try to grab at Fig if you wish.
You know what? I think, I think it's a better solution to try than just to let him fall.
All right, so you're now 80 feet up. Drown does that's a 24. A dirty 20 would hit you, yeah?
Yes, reroll.
Okay. We'll try that again. That is now a 14.
Oh, missed.
As the tentacles are snapping out at you, one of them just misses you. Using its other legendary action. And now its turn is upon you. And it is going to use its full multi-attack against you.
Yeah, because it's not slow.
So, you still you're kind of on it and technically have it pinned to under the grapple, but with its tentacles, it's still able to lash out at you. Since you have its wings sort of pinned down. It's going to be a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And a dirty 20 to hit.
Reroll.
Oh, wait, no. Never mind. Whoops, I already took that one away. There we go. So, re-rolling the dirty 20, it now becomes a 11 to hit. That Bane turned it into a -1 on the dice.
Ooh. Lovely.
When I declared this a Dawnbringer die, I didn't think about the fact that it wouldn't want to work against the Dawnbringers.
It's playing beautifully. It's a fellow
I have
Dawnbringer.
rolled so many 2s, 3s, and 5s with this die tonight. So it's
really friends with Talmud.
Yeah, it will hit you. It will hit you the one time for 20 points of bludgeoning damage.
Good golly, Miss Molly. All right.
And I'm going to actually say, I'm going to have you make a check, because you technically have its body grappled, but when it hits you with the tentacle, it grapples you.
Then we're both grappled.
So I guess, you're kind of tangled up.
So what that does is, now we're both speed 0. Because we're tangled up.
So you've got it pinned down. It suddenly hits you and wraps around you. Yep. But because you got it grappled, it can't pull you towards its mouth. Normally, it attempts to bite you, but it can't because of the way you're all wrapped up together. So there's that advantage. It is now Griveth's turn. Poor Griveth hasn't been able to actually do much. You are at 80 feet. Fig then would be 100 feet above you, falling slowly. Cantriel is also 100 feet above you, clinging to the side of the tower.
Griveth lets out a sigh of relief as he sees Cantriel holding on to the side of the tower. Of course, Talmud doesn't see this because he's... So I am just hanging on, waiting for the opportunity for something. If if Talmud misses and I have to try to grab myself, I am, a grappler master, so I can scoot around. I think pretty good. Using my grappling or my wrestling moves, I can scoot around pretty easily on Talmud if I need to get in the position for a second grab. So I'm just going to try to see what happens. I'm going to just like hold an action, to whatever happens for us. So yeah, that's great.
Okay, Thorgarn.
All right. So Drown called me out and said, come out and do what I do. So this thing is how far above me?
0 above you. It's pinned to the floor.
Sorry, how far above am I? Like you brought it down to like 5 or 10 feet below me, right?
You were at 15 feet on your ledge, so it's 15 feet below you, pinned to the floor of the top of the spire.
All right. So I will, let out the primal rage that I know is deep within me, and I will just, leap up with Forge Fane, imbuing it with all of the divine might that Moradin has given me. I have a 19 and a 24 to hit.
Those are both going to hit.
All right. I am going to use 10 domain dice to do 2 super crits.
Whoa.
That is 130 points of damage.
What?
A second level smite maxed out turns out to 73 points of damage, and a first level smite is 57. Combine those together, that's 130 damage.
God damn!
Thorgarn Spirit Caller. How do you want to end the Mooncalf?
So basically, as he calls upon Moradin, Forge Fane, which seems to have come to him at the right time with the blessing of Lady Vantage, but the actual anvil portion of the hammer glows with the fiery redness of Moradin's flame, and as I bring it down, the hammer and myself just plow through the top of this thing's skull, and usually we get splattered, but I am inside, covered in this thing's brainy entrails, and I have to break my way out, and hopefully I don't drown in the process.
All right. So thank you. First of all, that was awesome. And there's something that happens in this moment.
Okay.
Thank you to Unmade Gaming for the raid. You earned a new domain die, and then a new subscription just happened, so you earned another domain die. Thorgarn, as you drive Forge Fane and you're just driving into this creature, there's this moment where you're still moving, but in super slow motion. And Drown, you're seeing this as you're tangled up, as he's coming in for this attack and crushing through it. Everything is happening in super slow motion, and all of you hear in your mind, you hear this voice. Though I have failed to ward the door, Gulthias knows you have come, and he makes ready his revenge. Let the world weep at his return. And then time goes back to normal. And as you drive your weapons through this creature, Thorgarn and Drown, there is a intense heat and a loud sizzling as the entire form of the Mooncalf goes like flash paper and disintegrates into ash around you. The rain begins to almost immediately lessen. The thunder turns into a more distant roll. The lightning becomes less intense. Thorgarn and Drown, in the aftermath of this, you smell a powerful scent of rotten flesh. As you see that I need to get rid of this because I added this after this effect. As you see, nope, not that. There we go. The top of the spire, you see, not far away from you, there's a hole in the ground where you're precariously close to this hole, now that the moon calf is gone, and lying in a pool of viscera and scattered glittering coin and treasures is the rotting corpse of a black dragon. Over the next few minutes, as you're sort of coming to terms with this, Fig would continue his descent. Talmud and Griveth, do you attempt to grab Fig as he's falling slowly? Go ahead and make me an athletics check at advantage, whoever's making the grab.
I will attempt it. Let's see. So +3, that's a 17.
You're able to get hold of Fig, and it takes some effort, but you're able to use all of your strength. You're beating your wings furiously to get these two figures up to the top and let Griveth and Fig loose. You need just a quick moment to gather your strength. Would you go after Cantriel? Because I wanted to ask, because I wanted to see if you said no, what would happen.
Talmud probably would think about it. He'd hesitate, maybe let her hang for just a moment longer.
I picture this giant eagle form coming down and just going.
Don't just stand there flapping. Get me.
And then in those moments, I would just keep annoying him. Don't forget Cantriel. Don't forget Cantriel. Don't forget Cantriel.
So then, another few moments later, you are all safely at the top of the Nightfang Spire. The moon calf is dead, and apparently so is a black dragon. What would you all like to do?
So Jake, don't forget to take the 10 domain dice off for the 2
Oh,
super
yes, thank you. Thank you, of course.
You all killed a dragon while I was on the ground?
Yes. Look at her like,
I missed the party.
All right, so there's a hole broken in the top of the roof looking down into the tower.
Yeah, let's see here. So so the top of this whole spire is, as I said, it's about 40 feet in diameter. And it's sort of hollow. You have between 5 and 15 feet these jagged spikes of rock that are coming up off the top. The stench of the rotting carcass of the dragon fills this whole area. And I mean, this dragon doesn't look like it just died here. It looked like it was torn to shreds. And you can see that it is lying on top of a large amount of a relatively large amount of glinting coins. And several of the coins appear to have sort of fallen into that open hole, into the darkness. The hole itself looks as if the stone around the edges is melted. Either incredible heat or acid made this hole. And I would say that this is probably about a 10-foot diameter hole.
Oh, Talmud. This is right up your alley.
And
Still a bird.
I think Fig would sort of look around and just you see Fig sort of standing near the edge of the tower, leaning against one of the stones, and he just seems to be looking at some of the metal plates on his form that have looked like they've come loose. He's maybe got like a little screwdriver tip comes out of his finger, and he's just trying to tighten some of these. He's got dents and scratches, and you
Good, I
actually
can take
see
care of that.
arcane energy sort of seeping out between the seams.
Yeah, Cantriel's going right over for that.
Drown is likewise bloodied, so he's got horrible, branching lightning scars
Oh.
puckering his skin, and it looks like his shoulder may have been dislocated a second. So
Okay.
it's sort of swollen.
So
Perhaps we
Cantriel's
should
going to quip you.
catch our breath.
And
That might be a good idea.
as Fig's doing this, as you're coming over to him, Cantriel, he sort of hears that call from Talmud, and he just sort of goes, "Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Talmud." And he waves his hand, and there's just and I imagine for a moment Talmud is just standing there going, "Ah!"
There's like feathers coming out of his beard. He's just like, right,
I love it.
right, okay. Let's not do that again.
Why not? It's fun. I could do it
Nope.
again.
You're welcome, by the way.
Well, thank you.
He's gonna turn and
So did
he's
you
gonna
prefer
head
that
straight
or
to the
something
treasure.
else? She's like going to razz him about this one.
There's work to be done. Excuse me. He's going to walk over towards the dragon corpse.
So
If not the large eagle, what else would you want to be? How about a puppy dog? I could do a puppy dog. That would be cute.
Don't you dare.
What?
No,
I think it'd be
No.
quite endearing.
no. It should be illegal to change people into things when they don't give you their permission. That's not right. No.
Do I have your permission, if need should have it, to turn you into something else?
I hold on to the right to give permission in the moment, not now.
Oh, fine. There's just like this glint of mischief in her eye.
my question is, if the transformation is supposed to, give you the brain power of whatever it is you turn into, were you smarter as a bird?
Probably.
There's not a lot of gratitude that is going around on the top of this tower.
There is.
I carried both of you up here.
Thank
Both
you,
of you.
Talmud. Here, I'll give you a hug. Will you feel better if I give you a hug?
No.
I already said thank you. What more do you want then?
He wants
No.
to go count coins.
Oh, fine. Go play with the gold.
Drown is going to go put his back to the wall and just sort of slide down into a
I imagine Fig
So
looks at you, Drown, and sort
yeah,
of
Cantriel's gonna wanna rest.
walks over and mimics exactly what you did. In the same way, just you hear that metallic thunk, and then you hear this sort of as he slides down next to you. The two of you looking very worse for wear, while the dwarf and the elf are joking about transformations.
So we're resting.
So
Short rest?
I don't know. That's up to you guys.
I wouldn't mind a short rest, and plus I have that song of rest.
Yep,
Drown,
that's wonderful.
I will.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
1d6.
We do need to check out the dragon stuff anyway. So
What,
Okay.
what was
Be a good
that?
opportunity.
I will
Mhm.
lay on hands for 20. Drown.
Save it. If we're actually going to take a rest, save
Oh,
your
okay.
energy until we need it in battle.
Yeah. So
good point. Good point.
how much
Let me
extra
spend
does
hit dice.
how much extra does your Song of Rest do?
It's a 1d6.
All right. I mean,
and that'll let Fig use Arcane Recovery to get some spell slots back as well.
yeah, I gotta check this out. Let's see. Fig has all of his domain dice, or all of his
Ooh.
what you call it. Let's see. Fig has +3, So, and he is a wizard, so he should be a D6, right? For
Mhm.
hit die.
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
All right, let me see how many I have to use for Fig. So that's 7.
And we're getting a D6 Song of Rest, is that right?
6.
Yep. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Da-da-da. Okay.
So that's an extra 4. Delightful.
Mm,
So Fig has used 5 hit dice plus the Song of Rest. All right, and then the Arcane Recovery.
So he can recover 5 spell levels worth of slots.
5 levels worth of slots. Okay, let's see where he's at. I feel like I think he would recover we'll do that, and then
okay, I have a question as a multi. This is the first time it's happened to me with multi-class because usually it's the same die. The Ranger is a D10. So I can use those up first?
Yep.
Over Bard?
Yeah, you
Whichever
can use
ones you
them
like.
however.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yep.
My hit dice were not nice.
Ooh.
Everything I rolled was either a 2 or a 1.
Oh no.
I'm like,
Oh, geez.
no, I'm not gonna keep rolling.
How much are you down?
I'm only down 3 now, but I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I don't think I took
Yeah.
any damage the last 2 fights.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Good to know.
so-
Noted.
You're done doing it now.
I specifically said that I was trying to egg this thing on, and it did not come after me. So
Did you roll the D6, the extra D6?
I did, sir. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So
Good.
during this short rest, you're basically taking an hour to recover, use your arcane abilities, and you're patching your wounds, whether through magic or other more mundane means. Did I hear somebody say they wanted to investigate the dead dragon and the treasure? I'll allow that during the rest. It's pretty low key. So Talmud, yeah, as you started digging around, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay, let's see what we got. 11 on the die for a total of 10.
Okay, not terrible. I mean, you're not doing it under duress or anything. Is anybody else looking at this treasure with him, or is he just pawing through it on his own?
I would imagine that Thorgarn is there as well.
All right, you can also give an investigation check. The smell.
I'll look at anything they bring over to the group, but
Okay.
I'm probably not going to go digging through it.
The smell is
I'm
pretty
not
strong.
getting near it.
Yeah, the smell is very strong of rotten meat. This thing looks like and smells like it's been dead for weeks.
I'm going to use a domain die and reroll. That is significantly better. It's not a 4, it's a 16.
Okay. So, as you're both searching through this, you find mostly coins. You all told, you would manage to scrape together 4,234 silver pieces. I mean, it was pretty much on this pile of coins. 450 gold pieces. You find 3 gems that are worth 50 gold pieces each. I gotta look something up real quick. Let's see. You also find a ring. It is a metal ring that has, it's sort of silver, but it almost has a bluish tint to it, and there is engraved into it 3 squiggly lines. And then you can see above the 3 squiggly lines what looks to be a foot above it. There is also scroll. Ah, here we go. Wrong place. You find 2 bottles that look like potion bottles. The one bottle has scrolling. When you pick it up, in Talmud, you would probably be the one you find these bottles, as Talmud is grabbing all of the coins and the gems. And the first bottle, you pick it up, it looks like it's empty, but when you lift it, you feel liquid sloshing around inside it. The other bottle looks to be a pale green liquid. The last thing that you find, and you sort of both find it as you're digging through everything, it's partially under the edge of some of the rotting meat and partially covered by coins. But you find a plaque that is made of, looks like it's made of carved bone. And there are runes carved into it that you cannot read, but you recognize you've encountered them enough that you recognize these runes as draconic. And you also know that there's one among you who can read and speak draconic.
So I think after finding all of that, take the potions in the ring over to Fig and Drown, where they're kind of both leaning against the wall. Not sure, but maybe the 2 of you ought to take a look at this. And as for you, he's going to turn towards Cantriel, and he's going to kind of like set that bloody, gory, nasty, filthy bone plate like down right on top of whatever it is that she's in the middle of paying attention to. That looks like something that I think you should read.
Is sure applying to Draconic G, you think?
I don't understand what you said, but...
Exactly. Yes, I can read it. Say please. I said thank you.
Would you please read what's on the scribbly thing?
I will do so happily. You just had to ask nicely.
Do you do anything happily other than torment me?
But it's fun.
I've noticed.
She torments me.
No, I don't. I avoid you.
It's very different, Griveth.
He doesn't get it.
No, no, he doesn't. So what's the bloody, gory, scribbly stuff say, Jake?
So this plaque looks like it may have been ripped off of either a sarcophagus or possibly mausoleum, like it may have been mounted there at some point. And it says in Draconic, "The vow. With my brothers and sisters, I abide the centuries until such time as Gothias awakens the relic at the core, and we rise together into unlife." And I will make that available to you.
I was gonna say, can we get a memo?
Because I had to switch to my phone, I can't copy and paste right now.
Fine. That's fine.
But I will get that to you. Somebody remind me.
Okay.
I'll get you that plaque to you after the game.
All right. And she would have read that out loud while reading it, but in a very like monotonous, kind of like fine voice.
So,
Huh.
they are supposed to be coming back from the dead. He kind of turns and like eyes this corpse, like on the other side of the roof from them.
We should burn it.
On what is the roof of this tower made of?
Stone.
Okay.
Of course.
Very wet stone because it had been raining quite heavily.
Griveth is yanking the teeth out of the dragon's head, so if it comes back to life, it's going to gum us.
How
Yeah.
do I hang out with you people?
It just turned us into a buffet at Denny's.
Well, dragon's teeth are supposedly valuable.
All right. Ugh.
What are you using to get these teeth out, Griveth?
I am yanking them out with my hill giant strength.
All right, well, that'll do it.
That'll do.
I will say you're able to get 2 dragon's teeth out without breaking them completely. Drown. Because you specified that you would look at anything brought over, I imagine you and Fig are sort of looking at these potion bottles and this ring, and we'll use the normal 1 hour, spending an hour with them, and sort of.
If the potions are at all familiar to us, we can just kind of tell what they are. If not, we'll have to, spend time.
I think the potions you would be able to figure out with your spending this much time with it, and I don't know, Drown, what your expertise with some of these things are, but Fig has a pretty darn good, and at that point, I think it's let me see, just double check. Uh-oh. My browser just crashed.
Oh dear.
Well, the Twitch crashed, so I want to make sure that we're actually still broadcasting.
Well, let's see. Chat hasn't said anything quite yet.
It might just be my browser crashed because of yeah, it looks good. We're good.
Okay.
I just happened to see encoding error, and then my browser errored out. Fig had a 18 on an intelligence check. The bottle that appears to be empty is a potion of invisibility. Drown, why don't you go ahead and give me an intelligence check on the other one?
All right. Ooh, damn. Dice are on fire tonight. That was an 18, so 19.
This seems to be a potion that functions as a poison resistance.
Oh, lovely. I will report that to my fellows.
And then the ring.
And lady.
The ring
My compatriots.
almost seems to be a gimme based on the inscription upon it, as it
3 wishes, yeah.
is, yes. It's a ring of 3 wishes. You put it on and you become a Warlock Pact of the Genie. It is a ring of water walking.
Very cool. Does that require attunement?
It does not.
Recall. I don't think it does. Yeah.
It does not.
So I'll just sort of like flip it towards Talmud.
If anybody needs a ring of water walking.
Like a coin.
The question is, if you had it earlier, would you have been able to run up the raindrops?
I leave that up to your grace.
Well, the raindrops are falling, so it would be like running up a down escalator.
Hey,
If this was directed by John Woo, yes.
Right. Antonia Queenscribe says it's a ring of 3 wishes, as long as all 3 wishes are to be able to walk on water. I love it. All right. You've pilfered the last remaining treasure of this dead dragon. What would you like to do?
I want to go to Disney World. Sorry.
All right, we've rested. We've checked out the roof. I think the only way is down. Let's check out this hole. So Griveth is going to draw Dawnbringer and kind of poke it into the hole and see what he can see down there.
Let's see. So you look down into the hole, and you can see that it's about, with the light spreading around from Dawnbringer, the area inside here appears to be quite broken. Chunks of shattered stone statuary and broken walls litter the floor, and you can see that a section of the northern wall appears to be quite battered, and it's about a 20-foot drop down to the floor through this hole. You're muted.
Darn it, that was good. He leans down to the hole and says, "Unholy abominations, I come for you."
That's on brand.
Cantriel's going to look to tell me. You
He's
think
like,
I'm
"Okay."
the loud one.
I tell him what's down there.
You do realize you don't have to announce yourself every single time, right?
Well, I want to make
You'll
sure
heard
that
the voice saying that Golthias knows that we're here, right?
But still.
I want to make sure that the satyr hears this and is able to do our inscriptions on the wall.
You're letting your ego get ahead of the chance of surprising someone.
Meanwhile, Drown is unwinding a coil of rope from his pack.
Cantriel will hand hers over, like, if you need more.
How far down does it look?
Looks about 20,
about
like
20
a 20-foot drop.
Okay.
Drown will tie. Is there like rubble from broken bits of the tower, or is it pretty clear except for the dragon corpse?
I would say, yeah, there's probably some broken bits of rubble around some of the edges of the tower itself, which would be about 20 feet away. Themselves are jagged spires of rock and are pretty firm.
Okay. I will tie the rope off around one of those and then toss it down into the breach so we can just slide down safely.
All right.
I'll go first.
Griveth was trying to go first, but Cantriel's so nimble, she just slides right in front of it. She just slides right in front of him before he can even move.
She's just making sure there is no chance you're ahead of her and there are skirts. Nope. She's like, down, nope, me first. Let's go.
Okay, then Griveth slides down second.
All right.
Do you need a check or anything, Jake?
No.
Okay.
No, you guys, you're level 10. If you can't climb a rope by now.
Well, I mean, you know, there was a situation back. I'm just making sure.
No,
think
fifth
Talmud will
edition
probably-
doesn't. Fifth edition doesn't have a use rope skill, so
I think Talmud will probably go last. And the entire time that everybody else is descending, like rappelling down, he's going to be eyeing that dragon corpse real nervously. And then whenever it's obvious that everybody else has gotten down safe, then he'll kind of give it one last look and kind of lean over the edge of this hole, hold onto the rope, and then kind of, Aussie style down.
all right. So is that everybody down now, or okay? Let's see. This is hindering me not being able to. All right, I'm going to try
So
opening
nothing could
this
possibly be as bad as that fight up there, right?
Well, now that you've said that,
So, as you drop down inside here with Dawnbringer illuminated, you realize that through Dawnbringer or some other means of light is the only way you are going to be able to see in here, Griveth. It's pretty dark in this area. Cool. Let's see. The area you are standing in now is about 20 feet by 20 feet. Maybe a little less than that. There is a section of the north wall that looks to have been completely broken, about 10 feet wide. Pieces of the wall lie in the room beyond. There is a stone door to the west, to the east, and to the south. Brace yourselves, Dawnbringers. This tower has doors.
We should turn back. No.
So in this area, let me get in the right spot here. Go ahead and everybody give me a perception check as you are settling in the last of you sort of drops down into the space.
Continuing my awesome streak, that is an 18 minus 1 for a 17.
Okay.
23 for Griveth.
28.
Cantriel and Griveth, as everybody lands in, all of you notice that as you sort of land in this place, the sound of you landing, it's almost like the silence, the darkness is absorbing the sound. Not in a supernatural way. Just this place itself has that. Compared to the canyon outside, it just seems that there's barely any echo of your footsteps. There's just that you land sort of muffled sound, and there's a bit of a oppressive silence around you. Cantriel and Griveth, as you land, of course, you notice all around you that all of you have sort of kicked up a bit of dust. It was a little muddy in the central area from the rain falling through. But the two of you notice that there are several dozen tracks going in all directions through this dust. Most of them look like they were made by barefooted humanoids, something with very long toenails. And Cantriel, you notice that amidst all of these humanoid footprints, there's at least one set of very large humanoid footprints. What would you all like to do? You've got
John, come here a minute.
Yes. And
Put your
he'll
foot next to this
tromp
one.
over. All right, so he'll look down in the dust where she's pointing out and set his boot next to the
How
footprint.
much bigger is it to Drown's?
nearly twice as big.
Well, crap.
Does it look like I don't know, is it like a bear footprint?
Bear as in
Or
no
is it like
shoes, or bear as in
Bear as in no
rawr?
shoes, not as in big claw.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't asking for if there was a bear
big
at the
bear.
top of this 300-foot tower. Because there is now.
Oh my god!
It's a
an
bear
owl
folk. Giant
bear.
bear folk.
No. Yes, it does look. It does look to be barefoot.
I mean, does it look like so? Maybe ogre-ish, giant-like.
Give me a nature check.
Can I do a survival check on that one?
Sure.
Because I think that's better than my nature. Shocker.
Yeah, same. 15 on survival, if that's allowed. Wisdom survival.
Sure.
I just figured Drown might have
Actually, no, my nature is better.
bumped into giants back before he before he left home.
That's an 11.
Drown. It's hard to tell for sure. It could be giant kin. It could be ogre. It definitely has a humanoid appearance to it. You see the humanoid foot pads. You see the markings of 5 toes. Beyond that, it's just there's not enough tracks in the dust to really pin down what it could be.
And they're heading for the door.
They're all around this area. You guys just got another domain die as Indigo Chameleon has raided the stream. Thank you, Indigo Chameleon, for the raid.
Thank you, everybody.
We'll go ahead and hook you up with that domain die there.
All right, so Drown will kind of spend a moment looking at the footprint and then kind of shake his head and say, appears to be some sort of giant kin, perhaps an ogre or etin, but I can't be certain. Well, which way? And he'll kind of look around. Is there any visible difference in any of the doors, any markings or inscriptions, or are they all pretty much identical?
So all of these doors look to be made of stone. Worked stone, different than the masonry that makes up the tower itself. And they all seem rather nondescript.
Okay. And he'll just sort of look around and say, if no one has any preference, one seems to be as good as another.
All right, fine.
So, Drownwell, you said there was one in the south wall?
Yeah, there's the passage to the north is open to the next room. Then there's doors in all 3 other directions.
Oh, okay. I missed the passage. Got it.
Yeah, that's sorry. The north wall.
We came down in the middle of the tower, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes, dead center, and the north wall looks as if it's been broken through.
Right.
Well, there's something about this group, when there's no door, it's probably better.
That seems inviting.
Yeah. Open door policy.
Something already went that way.
Should we leave any stone unturned or door unopened?
Well,
One
if
at a
you
time is fine.
right, so we'll go this way. And she points to the one with the open door.
All right. As you head into this room, and there's going to come a point. So I want to clarify this since we're getting in, and this is the first time in a long time we've used maps. I have maps for all of the levels of the tower, but I do not have Fog of War. So for at least part of it, we're going to use Theater of the Mind. But if you get confused and you're struggling to figure out what's going on and where we are, I trust us all to be non-metagamey enough to be able to handle seeing a map and not metagame what's going on. I mean, you're in a tower, so there's only so much place you can go. But just holler if you're getting confused and you want me to reveal the map before I've actually done it.
No problem.
The room that you walk into, the walls of this room, they're absolutely shattered, making this area and the rooms that are nearby it open to one another. The floor is covered in loose chunks of stone, broken sculptures, and other debris laying all around. And you see tracks of a very large reptile wending its way through. It won't take a survival check to figure out. This looks like at some point in time, the dragon probably came down through that hole and was crashing its way through the upper area here. You can see the room that you have walked into is 20 feet across in either direction, though there is to the northeast a section that continues for another 10 or 15 feet. In that area to the northeast, there's a door on the east wall. There's one in about 30 feet away on the north wall with another one next to it. And then to your west, it's wide open to another room that looks very similar to this one. Griveth, what's the range on Dawnbringer's illumination? Is it 30 and 30 or 20 and 20?
20 and 20.
All right, so that would be... And then the rest of you have dark vision out to 60. Drown, you have superior, don't you? So like this whole area looks like black and white, but
actually, drown sees in darkness as if it were.
Oh, that's right, because of your invocation, right?
Out to 120. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can see color.
So yeah, you're good to go. In which case, all of you between your dark vision and the glinting, you see through that broken passageway that looks like the dragon came through and then turned to the left, broke into another room. You can see shadows sort of dancing around as the various pieces of broken stuff are laying around the floor. There's more broken wall, and you can actually see to the far end to the west through this next room there is a set of doors that I imagine the light of Dawnbringer is glinting off of these metallic doors that look like they've been slagged. Acid or heat has melted part of these doors. And on the other side of where this door was is you can see the far wall of it has a bit of a curvature, indicating that it's probably the outer wall of this tower. And you can see that this room has a reddish appearance to it. There's cracked and broken redstone tiles. It's hard to make out the details from this distance. You're about 30 feet away from it. But you can see, all of you, in the middle of that room is a chest. So what do you want to do? I saw several people's eyes go, ooh.
It's not ominous at all.
One lonely little chest.
Does this look like a trap? I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
Something very nasty had to do this to a stone door.
And you said the stone door was melted and pitted. Was it similar to
It was
acid damage?
so look. I mean, you guys are still like 30 feet away from it because it's on the opposite side. So you're in a room, and then you're looking west to the far wall of that other, to the far wall of that room next to the one you're in, and they're actually metal. These doors that have been slagged. It looks like whatever was in that room or whatever's in that chest was at one point intended to be locked behind metal doors.
Sure. So are the all of the tracks, do they continue down the corridor? Can we tell it all, or is it too clean to see?
Tracks? Yeah, you're still seeing
all the footprints that we're walking.
Yeah, you're
around?
still seeing much of the same kind of footprints.
Okay, then I'll move down the hallway toward the slagged doors and try to get a closer look at them.
Okay. Yeah, you move in through to the next room, stepping over. This whole west wall is just shattered. That looks like the dragon just bullied its way through both directions.
Right.
And you see lots of these little footprints and, little compared to the dragon's footprints moving around in here. And because you're actively looking and you know they're there, you would notice that these humanoid footprints, in many cases, seem to be after the dragon. Like, the dragon's footprints have been scuffed away or walked on. And then you get up close, and yeah, you can see up close these metal doors. You can actually see, looking into the room, that the northwest wall of this room, it looks like the broken red style stone tiles and everything. There's a vague shape of in this vault, like it was made to resemble the form of a red dragon. The whole room has a sort of reddish glow from all of these shattered tiles, and you can see there's a bit of almost like a fog or a mist that seems to slightly cling to the floor in this room.
Whoopsie-doo. I will take a moment to sort of carefully check around the slagged doors on the other side in the room. Does it look like there's anything dangerous on the floor?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Sure. It's not so super great.
I help. Can you have advantage?
Sure. You want to help
Yeah,
me?
if you're going to help him, all of a sudden Thorgarn's head peers around the other side.
Okay, what are you doing?
Meanwhile, Talmud's like waiting impatiently.
That's going to be a 17.
It looks like this room was probably, like I said, it was probably intended to be some kind of a secure room of some import. Other than the broken tiles, though, you don't see any indication. I mean, it's just like regular gray stone underneath the broken tiles. No indication that there's any mechanisms, seams.
Doesn't look like anything like pistoned or dropped out of the ceiling to break the tiles.
No. If anything, it looks like something the size of a dragon may have shattered the tiles with its weight. I thought you were asking if something. I thought you were asking if something pissed in the room. When you said pissed, I was like, "What?" That's an oddly specific request. The dragon marked its territory.
Once they catch me with that once. Never again. No. All right then. So Drown will say the floor looks safe enough. Is
Excellent.
the chest still closed?
Yes, the chest is sitting in this sort of dragon-shaped vault. The vault is open, and the chest is closed, sitting in the vault.
I poke it with an arrow.
Let's move toward the chest.
I don't want to get near the lock and
You are you poking it from a range, or are you just pulling an arrow out and just walking up and going?
I'm
doink,
pulling an
doink?
arrow out to like poke at the lock.
I
to
thought
make
you were
sure
just
there's
saying that
nothing,
that was your way of saying you take a shot at the chest from.
Yes, I
distance.
absolutely, take out my bow and everything because flare.
Right.
It's very bardic of me.
So you enter the room. Drown is entering the room. So this room is about 20 by 20-ish, but the west wall has a curve, so the room does have a sort of triangular shape to it. So Drown, Cantriel, Thorgarn, did you go in?
Yep.
Is everybody going in? I'll leave it at that. And Cantriel's poking at the chest.
With my arrow.
Boop, boop. Most importantly, your arrow does not stick to the chest.
Thank God.
Because I feel like that was part of your check.
Yes. Not getting near anything. Oh God.
I don't think I have anything for a locked box, so
No. I mean,
Is it an external lock or an internal lock?
You can see a lock on this chest.
So like it's hanging on the outside like a padlock?
It seems to be sort of integrated into the chest itself.
Okay, so it is built in.
I'm not gonna make it that easy for you.
Hey,
It's like,
it was
I've
worth
got the
asking.
key right here.
ta-dum,
I can get the chest open.
with brute force.
Yeah. You don't see these fingers picking locks, do you?
No, but it's picked other things.
What does that even mean?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
He's gonna heft Ghost Cleaver up, and he's gonna kind of raise it above his head and kind of look around as if waiting for anybody else to come up with another idea.
I think
It's like a
that's
beat,
Good idea as any. Just
and then
be careful.
as the axe is coming down on the chest is when Thorgarn's word of warning like actually comes out.
Griveth reaches for his side for the other hilt of Sir Bradford's honor, which he hasn't been able to get rid of. But he can't draw this, like he physically can't draw the sword. Like Dawnbringer has so infused itself with him that he can't even pull the sword out to help.
All right, so you take a swing at it, Talmud.
Aye.
All right.
Heard that, Jake. You almost called him by a different name.
I almost called
called
well,
him
I almost
Gertrude.
called him Jeremy.
Oh.
Oh no, I almost
guess
called him
it's more
Gerta.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's what I almost heard was Gerta, or almost said was Gerta.
You did.
It's amazing how you can barely form the initial sound of a name, and you know exactly what. I almost messed up my Dawnbringer kids' names again. Yeah, go ahead and just make an attack roll against the chest.
It's a 16 on the die, so it's like a 26, I think.
Yeah, you cave in the lock mechanism on this chest. And it sort of pops loose. The lid pops loose, and you can see a space where you can now open the chest.
There we go. Lock has been picked.
Well, that was easy.
effective. So is the chest open or just kind of broken loose?
It didn't pop open. It just sort of popped loose.
And did you say it was made of metal, the chest itself?
It seems to be made of a heavy wood that was sort of had metal wrapped. It was sort of wrapped in metal, so
Okay.
it's splintered but sort of held together when Talmud hit it.
All right, so the lid isn't probably ridiculously heavy. Then Drown will say, "Take a few steps back just in case, please." And if everybody moves out of the way, he'll cast Mage Hand, which manifests as a little spectral tentacle that'll open the lid.
Yeah, and easily enough, you flip the lid open, and you see inside that there are 2 bloodstone gems. They are worth 50 gold pieces each. There are
Writing these down,
50.
Or are we going to get a download.
It'd be easier if you wrote down treasure. I leave treasure to all of you, with the exception of that huge treasury dump. These small treasure pools, it's up to you to record what I give you. I mean, I can always go back and tell you later.
No,
if you
that's
need
fine.
it.
I just need to know if someone's doing it.
Yeah, are you still writing that stuff down, Ted?
No, I haven't done any.
Oh,
recording
okay.
in a while, so.
So then, yeah, I'll have to get a recap of that later.
Okay, so you also see 50 platinum pieces,
Ooh.
and there is a flat, narrow metal statue of a suit of armor.
Interesting.
Think of it almost like a like those collector spoons that the handle's like really ornately carved. Everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. But it's a little more solid and bigger. So it's like I said, it's narrow. It's maybe 3/4 of an inch in width, maybe 1/4 inch thick, and it sort of looks like, you know, the hands are close to the chest, holding a sword pointed down, and it's just fully armored. And it's probably about 8 inches long total.
All right. Yeah, gather things up, I think.
All right. Let me see something here. Where did it go? Okay. Everybody, make me a perception check.
Do I have to?
Yes.
I just like teasing you about it.
Because there's a chance you could fail.
Got a 22.
10 for me.
13.
2.
Cantriel.
22.
Oh, I know. That is a fail.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Somebody roll for Fig. Somebody roll perception for Fig. Like, literally, I forgot Fig was with you guys.
Fig has an 18 on the die.
That's going to make Fig's perception. Where is perception? Oh, it's 18. It's a fail. So let's see what the result of this is. Cantriel, Griveth, and Drown. All of you, let me see. So Cantriel, are you freaking kidding me? That die. Drown. Yeah, that's better.
Ooh.
That is a 25 to hit.
Hit.
And a dirty 20 to hit.
Re-roll.
Take those away. So that is now a 16 to hit.
That will hit.
That's for Drown.
Oh, it's for Drown?
Yeah.
Hit.
Oof.
So those last two hits were against Drown. And then, who was the other one I said was? Griveth. Griveth. That's going to be a 15. So you're not going to get hit. So what happens is the mist, you barely notice as all around you, the mist seems to thin out. And it coalesces. And I imagine Talmud, Fig, and Thorgarn, you all sort of realize as it's happening that the mist has coalesced into these sallow-looking figures rising behind each of the others. And Cantriel, I don't remember. Did I hit you with one of those? I know Drown got hit twice. I don't think you got hit. Did I roll against you?
I thought you were rolling against me when you were rolling for
Oh
Drown.
no,
I
you
said to
didn't,
re-roll.
because that's when I complained about the die.
Yeah, you
'cause
didn't roll against.
I used the Dawnbringer die against a Dawnbringer.
Is it like a an actual creature that I can try to block the attack?
None of you saw them.
Oh, right. Okay, good point.
So you got surprised. Drown. You take, as this thing rises behind you, it slashes out at you with its claws, and you take 7 points of slashing damage. And as it digs its claws into your shoulder, it pulls you backwards towards it, and you feel its teeth sink into your neck.
Yep.
You are going to take 5 points of piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And you are going to take another 8 points of necrotic damage. And your hit point maximum is reduced by 8.
Is that automatic or does it require con save?
There is no save.
Okay.
And I just realized what time it is. This was not planned, but we are going to end this session with next week's, once again, starting with an initiative roll. That's 3 sessions in a row.
Yep. Welcome to dungeon crawling.
Yep. So, yeah, 3 vampire spawn have just risen up in your midst. And none of you rolled well enough to spot them.
I've maintained concentration on my hex.
Okay. Make a note of that. So, yeah, that is the end of our session 5, Riders on the Storm, for season 4. Next week, we will return with session 6 as they once again start a session off with a roll for initiative. They're entering the vampire's lair. There's going to be vampires. And apparently lots and lots of doors. Thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you to both Indigo Chameleon and our friends over at Unmade Gaming for the raids. Thank you to the new followers. Thank you to the people who subscribed. For our friend Spike who cheered early on, earning some more domain dice for the players. And just thank you all of you in the chat. It's so awesome to see you with us each week. And see the conversations happening. It's absolutely amazing. And of course, an absolutely awesome thank you to Scotty, Dan, V, Ted, Jeremy, and even though they couldn't be here with us tonight, M, without whom it would just be me talking to myself for 3 hours. We're gonna go ahead and say goodbye. We're gonna get out of here the same way. We're gonna end this stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want. Matilda.
Yes, Fratu says good
Yes,
night.
Fratu.